right, we got a good one for you today. We're over here at Sea Salt in St. Pete. Chef Johnathon Rodriguez, he is a badass. Come on, let's go do this. All right, this week we're at Sea Salt in St. Pete. I got a bad-ass chef with us today, Chef Johnathon Rodriguez. Welcome. I appreciate you, letting us take over the restaurant. Thank you.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you for being here.
All right, so we're doing our world famous rapid fire, and it is world famous. So, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, excellent. So, the 10-year-old Chef Rodriguez, before you were the chef, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a doctor. My mom was in the medical, and that was just something I really intrigued in. I really loved the nutrition aspect of it. I loved the difference of the biology, and it really intrigued in me. And I just didn't think I was going to be a chef. I didn't grow up to think that. Did you actually prep to get into school and do the whole thing? No, I did not. What happened was that my mom ended up getting pretty sick. And I just pretty much started cooking things that she would normally do on a regular. And I never forget the day that I made her eggs. Super salty. But my mom was a champ. She definitely ate it in front of me, and I don't know what she did after that.
She gave you a smile.
She did.
How long have you been cooking?
So I've been cooking now for 15 years.
Okay, so it's not new for you.
Nothing new.
What got you into the restaurant life?
So what got me into the restaurant life, my first job, I was a dishwasher. And I was just the amount of communication, the way the chef would talk to the staff, the way you would just hear it would put chills down your spine. And it was just more of a symphony for me. And that's just really intrigued me.
Well, if you're doing this for 15 years, you still caught the tail end of the old school ways of the kitchen. Right?
So.
It's kind of different today than it used to be.
True.
Right? It's a little softer around the edges. It's not like it was.
Cutthroat, no.
Right. So I mean, I respect chefs from old school, new school, whatever, but I will tell you that the old school cats, it's a whole different level. With that said, if you had one food to eat from here on out forevermore, what would it be?
That's a funny question. It'd definitely be eggs. I love eggs.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why, because I can make anything with eggs. I can make a pasta. I can, really, truly make anything. I mean, I love eggs. I eat continuously, as funny as it sounds. That's something I would actually love to eat it too. Why? I don't know. I just enjoy it.
I'm all about it. I mean, there's nothing like some eggs. My mother used to do the eggs with, the yolk, the bread, and the cup.
Oh yeah, egg in the nest.
Yeah.
Yes,
egg in the morning, like for bread. Oh my God, I love that growing up.
Yes.
That was terrific. Kitchen utensil you could not live without.
I would say a pasta cutter. I love making pasta. I love making agnolottis. I love making raviolis. It's just something very dear to me. The creativity behind it, and the imagination that you can go so far with it, between the farce or the filling. That's something I always gotta have.
Side question: when you're making gnocchi, how are you making your gnocchis? What's your process?
Oh, so my gnocchi process, I use potato. I boil the potato, obviously start in the cold water, boil it up until it gets to mid-strain, and then I actually will file it through with the shave. I make sure that I shave my potato very thin, then I apply my egg, and then I apply my double O flour, and then I will make my gnocchi itself. I am very traditional, so I do not like to make a gnocchi any other way besides the gnocchi would, and then just finish with some semolina and just call it a day.
That's awesome. I remember doing that with my grandmother when I was a kid. We'd all sit at the table, we'd roll it out with the spoon and pop them out. It was really cool. Name, so in all of food, the whole food industry, all of it, top to bottom, what's your favorite element of what we do in food?
I would say my favorite element is definitely Michelin grade. I mean, that's my ultimate favorite. That's the true perfectionist of a chef. That is the true creativity of a chef. It really speaks out. You know, being with past history and Michelin restaurants, it's definitely an opportunity that, you know, I've really learned from start to finish perfection. I would say my other one is the wine. You know, wine is just, you know, beyond element. You know, it's just, it can definitely savor a memory, and it also enhances the opportunity to enjoy with multicultural. So I think wine is just so diverse, so regional, so beautiful.
And it brings people together.
And it brings people together, exactly.
That's beautiful. So, if you will, picture this. Imagine Andrea Bocelli, Mark Anthony, let's say Lionel Richie. Which one of those musicians, those artists, best describes your chef style?
Probably Lionel Richie.
Okay.
Yeah, Lionel Richie. I'm very fun. I'm very adamant.
Is this like a little brick house, or what? Tell me why.
I wouldn't say the brick house, but I say Lionel Richie is just, you know, it's got that oomph of the you know, it's that personality, man. It's just that.
He's cool. He's, first of all, I'll tell you why. Because, you know, I've known you now for a little bit. This fella is smooth, professional, and when you get into what he's creating, you don't want to give it up. How's that?
That's even better. That's even better.
Okay, all right, we'll take that. Chef, what's the best piece of advice ever given?
My best piece of advice ever given would say is always mise en place. Always set for success. Make sure that you are ready to go at all calls and needs. You know, our guests are everything to us, and you know, always be set for success.
Excellent. And for those who don't know what it means, give an explanation to the audience. What is mise en place?
Mise en place is French term for everything in place. So as us chefs, we learned that in our stages. In the first stage, so just everything in place, you know, all at once, ready to go, ready to fire at that one moment. Mise en place.
Awesome. Now, speaking of mise en place, you've been in some pretty high profile, badass restaurants. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So I was able to stage in laundry, also in per se. Also, I was able to work for the Trumps, which was my office was in Westchester. I was able to oversee, work with them directly with Eric and Laura Trump. Definitely a big experience, and that was probably my most high profile. So.
I mean, yeah, you have a laundry list, if you will, of experience. And you know, we at the show Walk and Talk, we appreciate you giving us some time to talk about, you know, you and what you do and where you're going here at Sea Salt. Let's stay tuned. We're gonna jump into some food in a minute. You know the drill. Thank you very much. While the chef is cooking, I'll be enjoying coffee from the best coffee company on the market, Don Pablo Coffee Growers and Roasters. Find it on Amazon.com. Cheers. Hey, it's Walk-In Confessions. Let's do this. All right, so we all know what this is. It's Walk-In Confessions. Chef, you know the deal, man. Tell me, what you got for horror stories?
Man, I got a really good horror story. So this happened when I first got into the business. So this guy, he was telling me, he was like, man, I make the best carpaccio. And I was like, oh, you make the best carpaccio, huh? He's like, yeah, it's very nice, thin to the taste, no issues. As soon as you put it in your mouth, it's gonna melt. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So come on, let me see you, show me how to do it. So this guy's like, yeah, come on. He goes to the slicer and he's slicing and slicing and slicing. And all of a sudden, that steak slipped. And he ended up slicing half of his hand into the meat. And it was just one of those quick reactions. We just, I just was stunned. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, oh my gosh, this guy gave me true carpaccio.
Wow.
So that's what I got.
So it's horrible. It's a horrible story. That cat probably finished his shift. We don't need to know, but he probably did. I say this every week. It's part of it. All of you out there, the audience, you go out to eat, right? You see the chef, give him a hats off or a, hey man, great job. Your servers, your bartenders, all the tip and thank, because what they go through in the back of the house in these kitchens to get you a pretty plate and a full belly, guess what? It's hard work. These cats work real hard for you. So don't forget that. Chef, man, that's a crazy, crazy story. Crazy.
They call me Don Pablo, and 20 years ago, I discovered my passion for great quality coffee. Today, we're roasting excellent quality coffee that's rich, smooth, and very complex. It's a taste that's new in the world.
All right, so I have Mark Armato, the GM here at Sea Salt in St. Pete, and master of the cool shirts. I wanna make that clear. Guys, we've got a good shirt, cool shirts. All right, so you're also the master of oysters, right? You know a little bit about this.
I do.
It's your best dish, well known for.
It's my favorite.
Okay, why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
So here at Sea Salt, we have a terrific oyster program. We fly in East Coast and West Coast oysters daily. So they're extremely fresh. They are good all year long because they're in the cooler waters of the Pacific and the North Atlantic. These oysters I have here in front of me, some of them are from Maine. The Moon Dancers are from Maine. The East Coast oysters from Maine and from Prince Edward Island are incredible. They are salty, briny, crisp, clean tasting oysters. They're just terrific. We've also got the West Coast oysters here. We get a variety of them in every day as well. And they are also incredible. They are more briny, more mineral flavored, and a more robust flavor of an oyster. All delicious. We have them all year round. We have them all the time. I taste them personally every day. Yeah, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Just to make sure that they're absolutely fresh at all times. And they are. And we have a terrific program here with that, and hope you come enjoy it.
You definitely better get here and enjoy it. I just had one. It's fresh. It's delicious. I appreciate you being on the show, Mark. Thank you.
Can I have one?
Absolutely.
Hi friends, I'm Katie. I'm a bartender here at Sea Salt St. Pete. I'm gonna make you a few of our cocktails from our new cocktail list. This one is my personal favorite, as I sort of invented it. It's called the Berry Basil Bramble. Now, the berries that we use are seasonal, so right now we're using raspberries and blackberries. And we always start with a little basil in the bottom of the shaker. And then we're gonna put some raspberries in today, because that is what we're using. Now you can really use whatever you want. Now, a bramble is a very historic gin drink that is always served over crushed ice. And since we have many crushed ice machines here from all of our oysters, we love to utilize the things that we have available. So I'm gonna do a little raspberry, a little basil, and since raspberries smush themselves pretty easily, we're gonna let them do that themselves. I'm gonna use a couple ounces of Botanist gin. An ounce of lemon, and an ounce of a simple syrup. I make a simple syrup out of hibiscus tea and basil, so it's like a very floral, very herbal, simple syrup that we use. And then we're just gonna shake it. So we're gonna get all of the good berry droppings there. It's gonna make it look very, very beautiful. And it's gonna look kind of like a Christmas little cone with the little basil drops on top. We're gonna give it a straw and a little raspberry for its top. And then there you go. That is the berry basil bramble. All right, well, that was how we make some of these wonderful drinks that we make at Sea Salt St. Pete. I hope you come and see us and have one. Enjoy.
This is amazing. Like, if you guys out there saw what I'm looking at, you would drop what you're doing, get in your cars, and you would be here now. And that's a promise. Chef, you're amazing.
Thank you.
I don't know what I'm looking, I know what I'm looking at. We've been here but wow, everything looks fantastic. I can't wait to dive in. Before we do, can you give a brief explanation of what we got going on here?
Absolutely. So let's get involved. So right here is our beet salad that we created. We have a beautiful goat cheese spread in the bottom. It's tossed with lemon juice, chives, salt and pepper. And then on top we put the fresh arugula. We do our slow roasted beets, golden red. We have our poached pears, candied pecans, and then we finish it with an orange nectar vinaigrette.
Okay.
On this side is our yellowfin tuna. It's tossed with sweet chili sauce, capers, red onions, and on the bottom is California avocados. And then on the top we have fresh wakame seaweed, and then we have my favorite beautiful microgreens, microflowers that we get from local, fantastic, the best of the best. And we top that off with a beautiful micro, and on the bottom is our sweet chili sauce to complement this. Over here is my favorite also, the U10 diver scallops. Can't go wrong with scallops, right? So U10 diver scallops, can't get any more Italian than this. Got beautiful fresh creamy polenta, topped with a beurre blanc, a lemon beurre blanc sauce. And then we finish it with an herb oil and the Medea balsamic age. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Again, top with my favorite microgreens in the area. And then of course we finish the best for last, Spanish octopus, amazing char. What we do on the side is we get gigantic Italian beans. We saute that in a chicken stock, and we finish that with a little bit of butter, and we hit that with arugula, and we place it on one side of the plate. On the other side is a vernace caper sauce, and then we put our Spanish octopus in the middle, rim it around with a little bit of herb oil, and then hit it with some microgreens.
Are you listening? Did you hear what Chef said? Well, first of all, Sea Salt. That's the name of the place, right? So, we had a brief description from a wonderful server who explained everything. What's the main, so Sea Salt started with what?
So Sea Salt here is our biggest restaurant. We pretty much specialize in classic styles of Chef Fabrizio. And then we have other styles that we infuse with my flavor. And he's very big about the classics. Very, very traditional chef. Exquisite taste, expertise on different salts, and he just loved it, and that's what his restaurant contains of.
So, yeah, I've been dabbing on the plates here, and I mean, listen, it's not for the show. I'm not saying these things for the show. This stuff is right on, man. Right on. The octopus is cooked perfectly. Scallops too. That polenta's badass. I mean, I'm totally digging this. About to jump into that tuna. Listen, you guys don't get to experience the rest of this because that's what we're gonna do now. Chef, listen, I sincerely appreciate you letting us take over the restaurant. You are a badass.
Thank you.
Thank you. By the way, a couple of things. Don Pablo, Coffee Growers and Roasters. If it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be a show. All right, so just want to give hats off to those guys. Cahaba Club is the local company that you're talking about for the microgreens. Also badass. You can get those, you can get Cahaba Club product at Farm Fresh. If you're in the industry and you're here in the St. Pete area, Tampa area, yeah, go for it. It's awesome.
We also use the local fish from Fresh Fish, Kevin.
Yep, Kevin at Fresh Fish Fast.
Yep.
Hell yes. And maybe soon to be a little bit on the meat with the Peninsula. All right, so listen, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank
Chef,
you
cheers,
so much.
baby.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.